Yes.
After you've maybe to resort to practice the previous agenda, is there a time when you're trying to look for the best fit by dragging?
Yes.
But if can you go below the minimum radius when you try to look for the best fit?
It depends. As for the design departure, you can go outside, but in case you go outside the design parameters, you have to provide like remediation measures. In case the curve is so sharp, you have to provide maybe warning signs, a speed limit before and after the curve, the other side, and also chevron signs.
You okay? All right. So we continue. So our alignment, the other ways of creating alignment is creating from a corridor. We don't have a corridor yet. We don't have a network part. We don't have a pressure network. We don't have an existing alignment. But you can create offset alignments. Just click on. Now offset alignments are like the ones that can easily represent where the lane ends, perhaps, or even create widening. So we are going to create an offset alignment from an existing alignment. So I'm going to create an offset alignment, then I'm going to select which alignment that I would like to create offset alignments from, which is this. Then they are going to show me which alignment of reference you're referring to, which is the element located from an object. And then they are telling me it's going to start from if you want to have a start range to the end, and start from the end, from the beginning to the end, then how many offset types you want, or how many lines of offset you want. Can be one. If you want to display a single carriageway, for a dual carriageway, you can do offsets that is multiple to represent the width of the different lanes. So in this case, since the width is about 3.5 for a lane, basic width, you can choose that. You can also choose 3.5 both sides, right? So you have offset on the left and then you have offset on the right, right? So after you're done with that, you can look at things like widening criteria. I don't want to go into deep. There's it. I just want to create the offsets. There are these other options that you can look at. We shall look at some of them a bit later. So we have this general. Then you can also, if you want to include major and minor label styles, then you can have that. Then you click OK. So we have offset alignments. In this case, I usually prefer if they don't have any label. So I'll right click, come to the labeling. I am going to take off this labeling, apply. Okay. Equally, I'm going to do that on the other side. Right click. Down to label styles. I'm going to highlight this. And click OK. So as you can see, from the center line, this is a width of 3.5. From the center line, there is a width of 3.5. So now that is like, it is going to be following the length of our, and it's also equally dynamic to the default alignment that we created with. Should I move this? If I try to move this, as you can see, they both move together. You get. So the other one is a child or like a segment of the other alignment that we refer them to. So those are the different types of the alignments. Equally, we have what they call connected alignments. You can create a polyline here. This. Enter. Then I can have alignments crossing one another. Sorry? I'm creating what they call connected alignments. These ones here. This is another type of alignments. We have looked at offset alignments, right? Yes. Yes, so I can create connected alignments. So for me to do that, connected alignments are connecting. They just curved alignments connecting one to the other. So I'm going to first create alignments from object, which is the first one here. Let me reverse. I'm not going to fill in a lot of these. I'll let that go. Equally, I'm going to do this the same. Come here to connected alignments. Sorry, not connected alignments, but alignment from an object. Do this again. Enter. I'm going to reverse. Perhaps I can have major and minor. Equally here, we can also have major and minor by you right click, go to edit alignment labels. There is no labels, so you add. For the major, you come to the minor, you also add. You click OK. So that is what we have so far, right? So we have two alignments cutting across one another. That's in the form of the junction. You have an alignment going the other side, like a T-junction, right? Not a T-junction, but an intersection. Yeah. So for us to create an accorded alignment is what we shall do. You come to the alignments, come here to connected alignments. You click on one of the alignments you want to start with, where you want to begin. Then you click on the second alignment where you want to join to. Pick the location, which side you want it to be, whether this side or this side, right? So I'll pick this side. And once I've selected which side you want it to be, then you put enter. Then there is an overlap distance, we are going to look at that. Then you have the radius of the alignment. So since the curve is connecting to one alignment to the other, we are going to give it a radius, a default radius of 50. You can always dynamically change the radius. So I'm going to change the radius. Okay, let me first leave this the way it is by default. I'll click OK. So this is what we have. It's a connected alignment, right? I can equally, okay. We talked about the overlap, which is 10 meters. So this connected alignment actually connects on this alignment at this point, but it overlaps that alignment up to this point, right? Because you can't just exit an alignment just like that, or a road just like that, so it leaves some space for transitioning. So that is the overlap that we have, and it transfers before, so at two sides. So you have 10 meters beginning before you start your chainage, then you have 10 meters at the end. So equally, we can adjust some of these things by you right click, you go to your alignment properties, or you can access them from this side, alignment properties. Then you go to, there are things like control parameters. I can be able to change the radius from here, if it allows for that, which is 75. And I apply. You get, I think you can see the changes. When I do to 100, I can apply and allow for that curve. Okay? So I can do this also on this other side, where I have a connected element on the other side. I have a connected element this side. I'll click this side and also click on this alignment. Then choose the side I want to be. Enter. 50. This time my end I can change to 100, since the other one also previously is 100. The offset is 10. Then enter. Then you have another alignment there. So now what happens if you do offset alignments on both sides? And so I click this. I can come to offset alignments. I choose the default one and click OK. Right? Let me first undo. Let me highlight. Offset alignments. I'm not going to allow for any major, no labels per se. So you have that. Equally this. You have so I'm going to also choose offset alignments for this. You click on this, enter, no label, you put that, then also this. You highlight on this offset, click on this, enter, allow for offsets, click on this, offset alignments, enter. So as you can see here, you can even form a little bit of an island, right? So it's a matter of just moving these adjustments together. Then you have a little bit of transition. That cars that are coming this side can just take instead of passing this side, right? The question of this geometry shall be looked at later. Once we are dealing with corridors, we shall be able to model up junctions But this is how we start coming up with them, okay? Yeah. So for now, we are going to go to profiles, okay? So those are the different types of alignments. I think we have explored most of these. We can also add widening. Once we click on the alignment, if I click on the offset alignment, I can add a widening here, which is this value. Let me adjust that. I can click on this alignment. In the middle of it, let me adjust. I need to be a little bit shorter than it is right now. So let me move this a bit closer. Let me move this a bit closer too.
So what's the starting point of an offset alignment? Is it the middle?
It's usually in the middle, somewhere there in the middle. Yeah, it's just you click on the plus sign and be able to show. So here you're trying to move the, yes, this. You can try to move the point of offset, right? So as I click on this, I can be able to adjust these decimals by maybe adjusting that depending on the designs.
Oh, the plus sign.
Yeah, the plus sign. So I can be able to move some of these. The other thing is that you can even move the distance from the alignment. This is the distance you're looking at from the alignment. Now, since this is on the left-hand side, it's a negative value. If there was an offset alignment of the right-hand side, it will be a positive value. So here we need that alignment. Since you're transitioning from a one-way to a two-way, could now double the width of the alignment, which is about 7 meters. So just click and add -7 meters, enter. Then that is the distance from here up to here, right? So we probably look at this quite a bit later. There are a lot of standards you can look at while adjusting this, which I don't want to go into right now. So once you're exiting, if you're exiting the offset alignment, I'm going to transfer this side. Once you're exiting, you can add another one here, which I can now transition back to a -3. -3, enter. Then I can click here, then I adjust this. You can be able to so you see there are properties to this widening. If I click here, there are transition length. This is where you feed in once you're making the changes, right? Depending on the standards, you can be able to change some of these parameters. The distance is supposed to be, if for example you're designing a climbing lane, there's a distance you're putting in under consideration. There is a transition distance from just a single to a double, you get. Yeah, so you're typing in all these values, then you can also define them by the starting station and the end station, right? Also transition and also the length of the transition lane, okay? So, questions? Yes?
Which function do you use to create that value?
The function, the way we created it. Let me escape. Let me exit this panorama view.
What does it mean?
So here, when I was creating the offset alignment, the widening, I didn't really follow any criteria per se. I was just showing you probably how you could create it. But for example, along this, you find the middle spot, you click on this plus sign, and be able to adjust. But here the corners are not yet active until you click on this middle spot, right? Then the corners can be adjusted. But like I said, there are standards which you can follow, and they will give you some of these distances, right? Yeah. So you can always adjust. The one that adjusts how far the alignment is this one. Before you click on the add sign, there is this. It adjusts how far this offset alignment it is from the center line. Okay? Yeah. So let's head on to horizontal geometrical design. Right? So horizontal geometrical design, we are going to be designing according to our surface and our alignment. So what you do, you're going to create a section view, so a profile view. Sorry, we are going to, no, we're not going to use this one, we are going to use this one. We are going to create a surface profile. The surface profile is where you have a surface, and the alignment that you've been using as a design alignment is going to be, the horizontal alignment is going to be the cross-section line through your surface, okay? So that now you can create the horizontal geometry, sorry, the vertical geometry. The way we would be looking at a road, looking at this terrain in terms of horizontal geometry. So we are going to create a surface profile. So the alignment of interest is going to be Mitiana Road, and our surface that we're going to be using is going to be, we're going to be Mitiana EG. So once you're done with that, you first also cross-check where the alignment is starting from and where it is ending. Okay? If it's not ending or it's not starting anywhere, then you know that the alignment you've chosen is not the correct one. Pics from the phone. Remember the password? Yeah, I did. The flash? Yeah. So what we do, we are going to add these properties there. Then you come to draw in profile view. Then they are going to open up another paranormal viewpoint. This is when we are going to be editing the name of our profile view. So we can call this main road or Mitiana profile. Okay? And then the profile view style. Remember, each and every object has a profile view style and also a label style. You get? So here they are defining a view style in this case. So we are going to go with the default one. We can always edit ours, or you can always edit the default one if you know what to do. So once you leave it, once you have that, then you can leave the rest by default. We move to the next one. They're showing the range of the station. It's going to begin from 0 to kilometer 5 and 990. You can also use this very specific, where you either want to end at 900 instead of going all along. So I can limit my 900, or I can limit mine by actually coming to choose which station. As you can see, once I click on choice, I can be able to mark on which station from the diagram, right? So this works also for both the beginning and also the end of the session. So once you are done with that, you can click next. Here I think I'll leave it to automatic, where it will go from the start to the end of the alignment, okay? Then we have the next, where they are choosing what is the minimum and the maximum elevation. For now, we can leave it be automatic, or you can limit by your elevation. Then the profile view styles can also be retained. So the rest is just pretty standard. Then we have what they call bands, band sets. We shall add those a bit later. So for now, we can choose no bands. Next, I think we can either even add cut and fill, but for now we don't have any comparison between two different profiles. But for cut and fill, you need both profiles too. You need the existing profile, then you need the design profile. Right now you're only creating the existing profile, okay? So we cannot now add the cut and fill cache yet. So I'll click OK. So since there is no more next, then I can just come and create my profile view. As I come and create my profile view, I'll look for somewhere that has bigger space. Now here they are trying to tell you to specify where you want to place your profile view. So I click somewhere in the space, then they have created my profile view. Now as you can see, this is the behavior of our ground. Okay? The behavior of our ground, as you can see. It's a bit disconnected from here, I don't know why. Probably somewhere where the alignment is not part of the surface. I think somewhere here. So you can move this a bit inwards. So these objects are all dynamic. As you can see, it has been able to patch up this area that was missing. We still have some missing items around here. So are we following what we have been creating together? Let me know. Any questions yet? We are lost from where? Sorry? The beginning of the profile. Okay. We can repeat that. I hope you're all set. I'm doing it one last time, okay? So, let me do this. So what we're going to do, you come to profile, create surface profile. We have the rod of interest, we have the surface of interest, everything is okay, then you add those parameters there. Have we added?
You're telling me sample start station where it should be less than the end station where I don't have.
Yes, true. Okay, for me I have multiple alignments because I've created multiple alignments, including offsets and whatever. So what you do, for you to get the main alignment, if you have multiple of them, you come to here, this green box, right? Then you come, you see that square will be the selection point. Then you come and select your main alignment of interest. Once I click, they will list that alignment and should be able to show. Like I said, should be able to show values. Once this is 0 and this is 0, that means that alignment that you've chosen is just wasn't even an alignment created. Okay? Is it showing some values? Okay. Then we can be able to add. Have we added? Yes. It has worked? Okay. Then you click on Draw in Profile View. Right? Then we name our profile view. Let's call it Mitiana Profile. Are we there? Yes. Okay, Mitiana Profile. You leave the rest of the... Here actually, if you're not even very sure again, you can still select your alignment from here. So after you're done with that, you can now leave the rest of the parameters by default. Then you click Next. Here, is, like I explained, it's automatic range. You can choose to be very specific to which range you want to end on or which chainage you want to end on. Then you click Next. Also the height, elevation. If you leave it to automatic, they will identify the minimum height or the minimum elevation along the profile and also the maximum. Then they will try to stretch your graph according to that. So you can leave it in automatic. Next. This is pretty standard. They're showing you what they're going to be doing with the alignment. Next. Then you have what they call bands. You are going to be able to add bands. Bands are that information that comes after the profile view. That information comes in. Those are called bands. The whole of it is called a band set. So for now, we are going to choose not to have any band. You can have bands of cut and fill, existing alignment. You have stations like chain edges, geometrical views, horizontal and vertical and spare elevation. Okay? So for now, we are going to choose not to add any bands. We are going to add them a bit later. You click Next. You're not going to add any cut and fill since you're only having now one profile to design for. Then now, once you're done with that, as you can see here, showing me that it's our last item on the menu. Then I can come to create profile view. Then they are going to bring you that small plus sign showing you that they want to create the creation view, but you need to identify the original place, the placement of the starting point. Okay? So you come to an empty space that is a bit wider. then you place it somewhere there so that you can have your profile. Are we good to go? Fine. So we are going to be editing the profile quite a bit quickly. I'm going to be really as precise as possible. Editing our profile view, we are going to start with this style, how it looks like. Generally the graph style, okay? So the graph style, what you do, you highlight this graph, you right click, then you go to edit profile view style, right? Edit profile view style. As you can see, we already have the information of, remember that view, the view style that we chose, which was profile view. You can even change the name in case you want. Then we have other items in the menu. We have graph, grids, title annotation, we have horizontal and vertical axis, then you have displays, and you have a summary of all the configurations that we've made. So we're going to start with graph. So graph, sometimes they can identify and tell you that they want a horizontal exaggeration, which is a scale of like 5, okay? So this scale is dependent on what you have here. What they're showing you is that is every cube or every rectangle that you see on that graph, be able to show you whether this is by 100, one upwards will be representing one, like in the X and then in the Y. Yeah. So you can always vary. I don't know. Is there a standard for graph?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll be able to confirm for us, but we can try to use our guts and see which one is best representative of our graph here. So when I click on that, our graph has become taller, which is not really as much representative. So I'm going to highlight the graph again, come to edit profile view. So I'm going to now just increase the rate, maybe 1 to 200, which makes our vertical exaggeration by 5%. Then allow for that. Now this is too short, I think, but probably could be a better representation. Now you have almost 1 to 1, same equal heights. I'm going to adjust this a little. I'm going to use 1 to 100 and apply. It's okay. This is a bit fair enough, right? So once you're done with that scale, I'm going to right click again, come to edit profile view styles, and I'm going to go to my grids. Now as you can see, I can easily clip my both horizontal and vertical grids to the highest point, and I apply, as you can see, and be able to clip upwards so that the grids do not go beyond a certain line, okay? Are we there, or you're just following? Okay. So have we clipped? Yeah. So you can even clip the highest. You can even clip both the highest, or you can allow for one of them not to be clipped. For example, I can allow for horizontals only, or I can allow for verticals only, like that. Depends on how you want to visualize your profile. So let me clip both of them. Then allow for that. Then we go for title annotation. Now we have multiple titles, right? We have axis titles and the general graph view title, okay? So we have, for example, this is the general title bar for the graph, the whole of it. But remember the graph has axes, right? One, it has the left axis, it has the right axis, it has the bottom axis, and it has the top axis. So you can add labels on all of them, and you can also add axis titles on all of them, okay? So how you edit that is that we can start with the title axis. Now, if you zoom out a little bit extensively, you will not be able to read this word, okay? But you can adjust this word and you can name it how you feel like, and also adjust the text height. So once I click on the profile, right click, go to edit profile view styles. The first one you're going to be editing, the the graph title. So I can start with the height, and I put this to about 15. Once I apply, as you can see, it has become bigger. Okay? Let's use the height of 15. You can also change the text style, but we have always been using standard. Okay? Then if you want to edit the words here, then you click on this editing icon. You remember this? So this editing icon, as a result, this is picking the name of the alignment, then adding the word profile to it. That's why it's getting its what? Its values from. So what we can do, if you want to change this, we can change this to maybe Mitiana Main Road, purposefully. Okay? So I've changed it to Mitiana Main Road. I'm going to highlight it, change this to Times New Roman, like that. I can even change it by color. Okay? You can even center, you can even bold, and even italicize in case you need to. You can even underline. Okay? So probably you can leave it like that. Once I have done that, I can now apply the changes, and as you can see, there's an effect. This is a red. I can change to a different color, say green. Click OK, then I apply. So as you can see, it has been able to change. Okay? I hope everyone can hear me properly. If you can't hear me, because it seems like we are competing with the rain. Have we been able to change, right? Yes. You all have this?
It's fine.
Yeah? We okay? Okay. So I'm going to still highlight this. Okay. So we are done with the title bar, right? Come to profile view. Sorry. Come to profile view properties. So set styles. So we are back at it. Then we can now adjust the title. Yeah, the title text. Now remember, on our axes, we have axis of this, having our elevation values. Okay? So we need to align our elevation values differently. So we are going to add here the text showing what these values mean, which is the elevation, all levels. So we are going to highlight this. Sorry, let me edit the profile style. Right click, come to edit profile styles, or equally you come to modify profile style, then you come to edit profile view style. So I'm here on the left. However, here on the title block shows that there is a value, there is a text that is supposed to be there, but it's not showing. It's because on the display, remember the yellow means that it's on, this bluish means that it's off. The layer is off, okay? So we're going to turn off those layers, we're going to turn on those layers. We need the left title, right? Which is this. So we're going to turn it on and allow for that. So as you can see, it has been able to show up. Yes.